So I'm going to finish my look at a couple new figures from Bandai. This time I'm going to talk about GX-09R, which is Minerva X. And here is Minerva X. Minerva X only appeared in one episode. I believe it was episode 38. Minerva was designed by Juzo Kabuto, which is the grandfather of Koji Kabuto, who is the pilot of Mazinger Z. But unfortunately, his grandfather died before he was able to actually construct Minerva. And so Dr. Hell stole the designs and built it himself. He was a little confused as to what the point of this gem was. And also the specifications called for it to use the special alloy, the super alloy that Mazinger Z was made with. Instead, it used Dr. Hell used some kind of super steel that he was using to create his battle beasts. So that meant that the robot was not as powerful as it could have been. So Minerva, as a battle beast, is autonomous, not piloted. And the point was to, like any battle beast, attack the Photon Power Institute or laboratory. But the moment she saw Mazinger Z, the gem changed to yellow, and she began to weep, although I think they decided that that was actually coolant, but we know that she was feeling emotions. So this was a very unique battle beast in that she actually seemed to have emotions and developed a fondness for Mazinger Z. Mazinger Z, the robot, which is it's a little bit strange because Mazinger Z has no intelligence. It is completely a piloted robot, even though it has, a humanoid shape to it. It is no more thinking than a car or a truck. Whereas Minerva clearly did have self-awareness. And so they created a little bit of a romance, which is strange because that meant that it was actually Koji Kabuto, and I think he gathered some flowers for her or something, and then Aphrodite became a little jealous. So I don't know if we're supposed to think that Koji Kabuto was developing feelings for Minerva. I mean, she does have a... Let's see. Oh, come on. She has a very attractive face for a robot. So she did only survive one episode. Dr. Hell was able to regain control of her, and Aphrodite inadvertently destroyed Minerva, although her body looked fairly intact, and Mazinger Z took her body and laid her to rest in the ocean, saying that if they could ever figure out how to repair her, they would. But she does not appear again in any of the episodes of the first two seasons. I think she has appeared in other kind of reworkings of Mazinger Z. So I don't think that was the last of Minerva, but those were kind of like alternate universe series. It's a great figure. I love this figure. It's basically the same design as Aphrodite. Metal everywhere. The crest is plastic, the head is plastic, the gem is plastic, but gosh, maybe this is plastic, but just about everything else is metal. It's got a lot of weight to it. The original GX-09 came out about 20 years ago. You can see the screws in the back. They don't do that anymore. Just like with Aphrodite, the shoulder articulation side to side is very limited. I don't love the neck articulation, but besides that, it is really a incredible figure, and it looks just like a female version of Mazinger Z. So even though Minerva only appears in one episode, she clearly made quite an impact on people. And the whole storyline, the story arc with Minerva has been used over and over again, even was used within Mazinger Z repeatedly, which is an enemy infiltrating the photon power laboratory, but then becoming an ally, and in the end dying. And this kind of story arc was used not only in Mazinger but in a lot of different giant mecha anime. So it is repeated over and over again. I did make one mistake in my previous video. I said that Sayaka would fly her vehicle into the head, and I expected that to be a separate piece. I was wrong. I was confusing Aphrodite with Venus, which is in Great Mazinger. In Great Mazinger, the vehicle is flown into Venus's head. Not so with Aphrodite. So that was my mistake, and they did not make a mistake, or it wasn't an omission on their design part. It's just not how it works. So yeah, I'm going to give this figure top marks. Really has no gimmicks. We have... Oh, this is interesting. I'm just now noticing this. This happened in another one of my figures, which is these are clearly hands for Mazinger Z. And these are hands for Aphrodite. I'm sorry, for what's her name? I always forget this, Minerva. So she really only has a couple of alternate hands. This is really interesting that this is the second time they've done this, which is include hands for Mazinger Z. I like that. That's pretty cool. So that's why that's separated from these two. And she has the stand and the brace and everything. So I really, really, really like these figures. And thank you, Bandai, for making a box that is like the minimal size. The only thing I thought would have been cool is if they had the gem could be swapped out for the yellow gem. But besides that, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous figure. Both of these, they really are a great addition to my collection. The next one is in January, which is Boss Borat. I have a 5 Pro Studio Boss Borat, which is unbelievable. But it would be nice to have a Boss Borat that is in scale with this. And then there's a couple more figures coming out next summer, including Diana, which I mistakenly said was a new figure. Apparently Diana is not a new figure. Diana is the replacement for Aphrodite, which I guess is in the second half of the first season. Aphrodite's destroyed and then replaced by Diana. And then there's another one that's a robot in a later episode. So highly recommend this. I ended up getting it from Amazon because they first sold out on Big Bad Toy Store and then just were no longer listed. So we have Minerva from episode 38 and Aphrodite A by Bandai, Soul of Chogokin.